Hi, welcome to Vector Bliss. So in our previous video, we have seen how the fields are working. Let me just quickly delete these things, and in this video, let us talk about dynamic blocks and how the fields are getting updated in dynamic blocks. So to do that, maybe say I have a small plan here. So let me just put like 5,000 and by 4,000. Offset 230. So this is a room. Say this is the plan and this is the room. And now I want to create a dynamic block. Usually what happens is like in AutoCAD, if you want to have the length and width of a room, and if you want to have it as a text, I know so many experts, they use AutoLisp for these things, but you can easily use dynamic block for this purpose, provided the room is a rectangular room. Okay, and if you have some rooms like this, some organic shape or something, then it doesn't work. Okay, so if you have a regular room, a rectangular or a square room, then you can easily use a dynamic block for placing that text here, which reads the length of the room and the width of the room. And as you change that block based on the width and length of the room, this text also will update. Let us look at it, how to create it. Okay, so let us first start with two lines. Okay, so first line, this is the length of the room and we have the width of the room. So let me just drag this midpoint of this to the midpoint of this line so that it is centered like this. Okay, and I will select this and I will make it a block. Now this I will call it room size tag or something, I don't know. Open in block editor, pick points, I'll pick it here, hit OK. So you have this now. Now what we need to do is we need to add some parameters to it. So I will add a linear parameter, and let us change this property to be, this is length. It doesn't have anything to do with fields, changing this name of the parameter, but still it is a good practice to have these parameters named properly. Okay, so linear parameter, one more I am taking and I'm putting it here. Sorry, this is width, so this is width, and this one is length, LENGTH. Okay, so you can see two parameters are there. Then let me quickly add a stretch action to these parameters at these points, like this. If you are not understanding what I am doing right now, then I would recommend please watch my video series about dynamic blocks. It is there in the same channel. So I have added these stretch actions to it. Let us quickly test this. Close block editor, save changes. Now just pull this. This is happening. This is happening. This is working fine, and this is also working fine. But there is a problem, small problem is there. Suppose I want these lines to be aligned properly exactly at the midpoint. So for that, what I do, I will add a move action. At this point, for these objects, I will select this parameter also. Then one more move command. Select the parameter at this point for these objects. One more move command at this point for these objects. And the last move action here. Selection set for these objects. Okay. Now what I need to do is I need to add, okay, let us quickly test this block whether it is working fine. There is one problem because it is not centering. That is because we need to give these values the distance multiplier to be 0.5. That means it should move only half of the stretching length. 0.5 for this move action also 0.5. Now just test the block. You can test it here also. Test block. Now it is working fine. Everything is centered now. That's fine. Going back to the block editor, close test block. Now I need to create an attribute. So attribute definition. In this box, for the tag, let me just put it like room text or something. Now the first and foremost thing you need to be careful is that the attribute mode here, this mode should be constant. That means we are not asking the user to update it. It shall be a constant always based on certain properties, and also the default value is going to be a field. So I mean it is going to be some text with the fields and all. So, and also I would like to place it as a multi-line attribute. So I will click this multi-line and the justification to be middle center, and I want to use annotative or standard, whatever it is. Let me use standard, and the text height to be 0.2. that is fine. I can make it annotative also. Okay, and I will place it here. It is too small. That's fine. That is because the scale here, let me just add say 1:100 or something. Pepper text height 2, that's fine, or else yeah, there you go. Okay, so this now if I go back to this, here in the default I will click on this button to edit it. And here I will put length. Now I need to insert a field, so I will press Ctrl F to insert field, and I will go to objects here. Objects, select object, this object, and it should be the property of this line. So I will click this line, length, decimal, precision, say I want 2 decimal precision, hit OK, and you can say mm. Now enter for a new line, width, then Ctrl F once again, object, this object, length, hit OK, and now that you have this text, okay, just close the block editor, save changes. Let me just reset this block, and the scale here, let me put it 1:100. There you go. Now select this block. When you are inserting this block, you can insert it with this point and shift right click for snap overrides, and I will put it at midpoints between 2 points, that is here. I'll place it like this, and I'll just drag this here, 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 and here. And now it is not updating. If you refresh anyway, you can see that it is 5000 mm and 4000 mm. Now you might not be requiring these lines to be seen. So for that, what you can do is, if you go back to the block editor, here you have something called construction. So if you select this and press enter and convert, you click, then this becomes a construction line, construction entity, and you can see only text is available and these grips are available. So as you drag this, say I want to the exterior of this room like this, region, and you can see this is getting updated. So you will be able to place it like this in various rooms, and you can easily get this text, and it will be always centered. Okay, to make it center, right now it is not centering, I think. Yeah, it is not centering. That is because if you go back to the block editor, these move actions are there. We need to assign this text also to them. So select this, modify selection set, then select this, enter. Right click on this, modify selection set, select this, enter. Right click on this, modify selection set, select this, enter. Right click, modify selection set, select this, enter. Close block editor, save changes. Just now you can see, reset the block, and as you pull, this label is also moving and it will be always centered. Okay, so this is how it works, and remember that you need to refresh region the drawing for the fields to get updated. Okay, sometimes if it is a text object and if the field is not getting updated by region command, you can always use update field and select the object, and that will do. Okay, so thank you for joining. So this is all about fields. So keep practicing and come up with so many blocks and ideas where you can use these fields very effectively. Okay, thank you for joining. Bye bye.